but reproduction part was a very short one. Okay, it was not in more detail. Okay, and today I'm going to discuss the last part of our of the lecture, or of the unit of the algae, which is economic aspects or the economic importance of the algae. Okay, so basically these are diverse organisms. Okay, and as they are diverse, economic uses of algae are also diverse. Economic uses of algae are also diverse. And today I'm going to discuss the last. And there are basically two main aspects. One is the beneficial aspect, and second one is the harmful aspect. Okay, beneficial aspects well, they can be used as various products, as a food, etc. Okay, and harmful, through which they harm the ecosystem or maybe the human systems, human food, kill animals, etc. Okay, so the natural substances like they are used like food source, fodder, and even in the case of fish farming, even as a fertilizer. It also plays a key role in alkaline reclaiming also. Okay, it also plays a key role in the alkaline reclaiming also. Okay, so starting with the beneficial aspects of the algae. So basically they are maybe used as they may be used as, okay, give me a minute please, because there is a problem in my cluster right now. So starting with the beneficial aspects of the algae. Okay, so they may be used as commercial products, as a food or feed. Even some of the algae have a medicinal uses, and they are also used in the agriculture also, and various miscellaneous uses also. Okay, so we will discuss one by one in each case. Okay, the first one is basically agar. The first one is the agar. Agar, you have used in your semester 1 as well as semester 2. Okay, while preparing the bacteriological media, as well as the fungal media also. Okay, this agar is basically extracted from the algae. Okay, and this is the name agar is applied for a dried or a gel like non-nitrogenous extract of the rhodophysian algae. Okay, and it is employed as a medium in the culture of the bacteria, fungi. Okay, and as well as the various industrial processes also. And some of the examples of the algae which produce agar are Galladium, Gracilaria, Gigartina, Anfeldita, Chondrus, Philospora, etc. So there are also various other algae which are used for the extraction of agar. Okay, simply how are they extracted? I'm just going to give you a brief idea. basically a dried and washed algae basically extracted under the pressure and is clarified, filtered and allowed to be extracted under pressure. Okay, and finally the algae is chopped and placed in a freezing room, okay, at very low temperatures. Okay, at some places agar has been also used in the food, also in the cosmetic as well as pharmaceutical industries, also the leather industries, textile industries, etc. And Japan was the first and foremost producer of these products in the earlier 19th century, 20th century, sorry. Okay, but nowadays this agar is being produced by many countries right now. Okay, it's being produced by the many countries. Okay, please have a look at the species of Gelidium and Gracilaria. Species of Gelidium and Gracilaria. Okay, these both are red algae. These both are red algae. Now comes the alginic acid. Okay, these are basically extracted from the members of the algal family P5CAC. Okay, examples which produce alginic acid derivatives are Laminaria, Escophyllum, Microcystis, etc. Okay, so basically just alginic acid occurs in the middle lamella and the primary cell walls of this algae, varying from 14 to 40% depending on the seasons, place as well as the species. And structure is similar to that of cellulose and lactic acid, and alginates are basically used in various industries due to its properties like non-toxicity and quick formation of gels. And they are also used as thickness. They are also used as thickness in food industry, in cosmetics, as well as textile industry, and in rubber industry as well as in the case of latex production, as emulsifiers, as gelling in meat and confectionaries and jellies, as well as the dental powders, Okay, please have a look at the members of the P5CAC. The photograph given here are of Laminaria on the left and Microcystis on the right. Okay, Laminaria and Microcystis. Next comes the Carginian. What is Carginian? It is chiefly extracted from the red algae Chondrocus crispus. The photograph is given here. Okay, it is also known as iris moss. Okay, and to a lesser degree from the species of Ghiatina. It has innumerable uses. Okay, it has innumerable uses as components of toothpaste, deodorants, cosmetics, as well as paints. Okay, next comes the fumarate. Okay, it is a sizing agent basically used in paper and cloth industry, and it is extracted from the Galeopeltis furcata in Japan. Now please have a look at the photograph of the algae Galeopeltis furcata. Now moving forward with the diatomites. In the last lecture, I showed you some of the diagrams of diatomites. There are a variety of diatoms, okay, from which during the tertiary and the quaternary times, due to the large production of diatoms, large sedimentary deposits are formed in some of the regions of the earth, okay, due to which the siliceous walls are more or less insoluble, and these sediments contain high portion of the silica. Okay, due to this, they are used mainly as filtration aids, as well as filler in the paints, varnishes, paper products, insulating material for high and low temperature furnaces. It is also employed in sugar refining and brewing industries, and formerly it was employed in the sugar refining and brewery industries, and also used as an absorbent for nitroglycerin in the manufacture of dynamite, but now it is replaced by various other substances. Next comes iodine. Previously it is not being used right now, okay, because the method is uneconomical now. Okay, previously this element was extracted from the seaweeds of the P5CSE, especially from the members of laminarials, okay. And next comes the potash. Okay, this technique is not used right now, but previously it was used. The kelps are mostly used for the extraction of potash during the war. So there are many other examples of commercial products. Okay, you can write all these examples in your words also, whichever is suitable for you. Okay, next comes bromine. It is manufactured from red algae, rhodomela, and polysymphonyl on a red skull. Next comes soap, alum, and the glassware, where the kelps of PFAC were mainly used as a source of soda in the manufacture of soap, alum, and glassware in the past. But now, due to the high cost, its extraction is basically abandoned. It is not used nowadays. Okay, and as a human food also, in the Pacific Islands, raw algae and frequently the members of Rhodophyceae and Pophaceae are added to the dishes, whereas types of laminaria, leaflets of Elaria are eaten in Europe and North America. Okay, in the South America, ulva and durvili are dried, salted, and sold as kachiyugu. And the prolific users of seaweeds are basically Japanese, Chinese, and some of the tropic Pacific islanders. Okay, there are also some species of nostoc which is eaten by Chinese and South Americans, and dulse is an example of an English dish prepared from the rhodo manic. Even some Indians, especially from South, prepare a green layer from the Idogonium and Spirogyra. From the end, have factories to process seaweeds into the suitable cattle feed, and sargassum species are also used as fodder in the China. And it has been also recorded that the milk yielding and the egg laying capacity of the cattle and poultry are increased by the use of this cattle feed. Okay, so thus it does have a economic importance also. Now, fish food. Okay, algae are basically planktonic forms which are attached are both planktonic and attached forms in the sea and in freshwater also, and which provide a primary food for fish and other aquatic animals. As a result of drainage from the land, the seawater near seashore is rich in many elements. Okay, which basically promotes the growth of planktons, particularly the diatoms. Okay, and this is succeeded by the zooplanktons, copypods, rotifers, forming primary seafood in the fish for the fish. So in the food chain, the algae are basically the food primary producers. Okay, apart from serving as a food material, okay, algae also release sugar in the aquatic medium and also remove carbon dioxide. Okay, in freshwater lakes and ponds, Cladophora, Pyrophora, Idogonium, Spirogyra, Eulothrix, etc. may serve directly as a food. Next comes the vitamins. Okay, some of the algal forms are basically rich in vitamin A, vitamin B, C, and E. Okay, and one of the diatom Nichia is rich in vitamin A and is found in the liver oils of many fishes. And vitamin B is found in ulva and porifera, and Elaria is basically rich in the vitamin C. Okay, they are also used for foods for astronauts. Why? Okay, why are they used for the foods for astronauts? The reason is simple. Okay, because the limitation of water and food in the space flights, okay, and in that the polar tanks are basically carried, and they do not, and they not only provide the food in emergency, but are also capable of release of oxygen also. So this is how chlorella is used as a food as well as for the oxygen. Next comes the medicinal uses. Okay, because of their high iron content, brown algae are used in various goiter medicines, either mixed or alone. Okay, the Rhodophysian algae, Corallina and Codium are used for the treatment of the kidney, bladder and lung disease by physicians in the East. Okay, next comes the antibiotics. The testing of the algae for antibiotics is still in a preliminary stage, where chlorelin for the chlorella is known to inhibit several species of the bacteria and are effective against other algae also. Now comes the test organism. Okay, in the medical, they are also used as a test organism. For example, euglena is basically sensitive to vitamin B and is used in culture for detecting the blood of suspected anemia patients. Okay, and further they are used in the agricultures such as fertilizers, manures, even in the case of nitrogen fixation, and also in the reclamation of USAR lands. Okay, your USR lands. And as a fertilizers, many of the algae can be used as a fertilizers and manures. Okay, and because they are rich in potassium. Okay, and some of the algae can also fix nitrogen, such as nostoc, anabina, Tolipothrix, etc. can fix free nitrogen from the atmosphere like bacteria. Okay, and they are used in the seedling, okay, of the rice field with the species of blue-green algae, which basically increases the nitrogen content of the soil, which basically results in the higher yields. Now comes reclamation. Okay, it has been reported that blue-green algae like nostoc, Cystonyma, anabina are employed in the reclamation of alkaline USAR land. Okay, and in his experiments he recorded the alkaline in pH from 9 to 7 was finally converted to pH was decreased from 9 to 7 to 7 to 6. Okay, and next is the use in the sewage disposal. Okay, as sewage disposal is an aerobic process, the presence of algae basically facilitates oxygenation. Okay, by adding the algae in the sewage treatment plants, okay, you can speed up the sewage disposal process, where algae are going to be used as carbon and nitrogen sources for other bacteria, for lighting of the buildings also. Okay, one such experiment that's being done, okay, where they have used algae for the lighting. Okay, you can search in the Google, okay, or YouTube, light buildings from algae in Germany. Okay, you can watch a video. Further, they are also used as a tool for the biological research also. There are various other uses also. Okay, so as a tool for biological research, with the introduction of unialgal or bacteria-free cultures of the algae in laboratories, the new stars of the research have opened. Okay, so on the account of simple structure and the visibility of cell components due to the transparent walls, quick results in the controlled liquid conditions can be easily studied. Okay, now they are employed for biological assays in physiology and the study of biochemistry, in the study of cancer, and also in the study of limnological research as well as the oceanographic research. Okay, and another main positive point of the algal material is they are easy to handle, and used in the industry. Okay, in the past, general biological phenomena have been isolated, okay, such as pathway of carbon dioxide, okay, and the cellular differentiation process, etc., were studied in the algae. And these are only a few examples, such as Corella, Nutella cells, Ochromona, suglin, etc. So basically, algae is basically used as a research tool also. Okay, so next comes this field of research where algae can also help us to monitor our environment. Okay, how? By serving as monitors, of the pollution. As you know, the industrial pollution is definitely a big threat. Okay, where excessive use of inorganic fertilizer applications for the agricultural productivity basically leads to the greater pollution problems. Okay, for example, it is due to the eutrophication process. So this can be studied. Okay, this part can be studied by the use of algae. Okay, now moving forward, and yes, they have an important role in the ecology also, because they are the part of a important food chain. Now comes the harmful aspects of the algae. Okay, now we are going to discuss the harmful aspects of the algae. Okay, so this algae, okay, algal blooms. Okay, what are algal blooms? Algal blooms are simply the large growth of algae. Okay, large growth of the algae in the water reservoirs. Where it can change the taste of the water and other properties of the region also. Okay, for example, the cartoon given here, where the bodies of water, okay, soon will be the blooms of algae. And the second diagram here, okay, where algae grows in any water with human upstreams, but warm water makes the algae grow faster. Okay, now what happens? As the population or the growth of the algae increases, which is basically known as algal blooms, they kill the plant and animal life in these ecosystems. Okay, for example, the Gulf of Mexico has the largest dead zone, okay, in the US, spanning about 6,500 square miles. Okay, and some algal blooms can also create dangerous toxins. Some algal blooms can also create dangerous toxins, due to which it threatens our water supply. Okay, even the life of the fishes which live in that water body. Okay, and these toxic algae, which are found in higher concentration, even in the low concentration. Okay, and if this same water is being used by human beings, it can cause a disease in the human beings also. Okay, so the large growth of algae in water reservoir for drinking water basically produces bad tastes in water and also interferes with the filtration of water. Okay, and most of the water stored in for drinking is first filtered through fast and then slow sand filters on stones, and these filters are rapidly clogged by the growth of algae, where some algae are known to impart of color or taste to this drinking waters. Blooms can also produce toxic substances, where the luxuriant growth of plankton may lead to death of the fish, either directly or indirectly. Okay, the toxins produced by some of the algae can also kill the fish, and one such algae is Microcystis, which is reported to produce a lethal toxin. Okay, now the death of fish can also occur due to the suffocation. Okay, how suffocation? It is due to the depletion of the oxygen contained in the water, as algae basically covers up the surface area, okay, due to the overgrowth, and as time moves forward, the oxygen content of the water slowly depletes, okay, and finally a time will come where no oxygen will be available for the fish and other organisms to survive. So basically this process is called as eutrophication, okay, is called as eutrophication. Okay, now similarly, the case of fishes, the animals, some of the animals are also killed by the secretion of these toxins. By the secretion of exotoxins and neurotoxins by the blue-green algae can bring the about death to farm animals like sheep, horses, cattle, and birds, etc. And some of the species of Microcystis, Anabina, Gliotracha are basically reported to produce these toxins. Now, in some cases, they also lead to death of the human beings. Okay. Similarly, by consumption of fish and shellfish by the human beings is due to the dinoflagellates that produce endotoxins. Okay. In some cases, algae occurs as a pest also. Okay. On the account of the dense and matted growth on the recreation sites are basically spoiled. For example, in the swimming pool, okay, in the boating and fishing areas, okay, where algae can create a problem. Where the luxury. So the economic furthermore harmful aspects. Some of the algae may also damage to the buildings. Okay, especially the brooding algae, where they will spoil the plaster and brickwork, etc. Some of the algae are parasitic ones also, okay, such as Cephalourus. Cephalourus basically causes huge loss of coffee and tree plantations, which basically reduces the production of coffee and tea. Okay, and now comes the unwanted growth, okay, which is again a type of algal blooms, but the unwanted growth in the such as submerged timber structures, okay, for example jetty, anchorage, or platforms which are connected with the water, okay, and due to this a biofouling occurs, which possesses a serious economic loss accounting to millions of dollars or rupees. Okay, so for controlling the algae as a protective treatment, the bleach and copper algicide solutions are used, okay, to control the algal growth.